Sripada Sri Vallabha Charitamrutam, Chapter 19. Meeting with Guru Charan. Vallabheshwara Kapil, myself and Subbanna Shreshti were recollecting the sportive pastimes of Sri Sripada. In the meanwhile, a distant relation of them named Linganna Shastri came there. He was a great scholar in Vedas and Vedangas. Linganna Shastri was telling, I came to Pitakapuram for offering oblations to my forefathers at Padagaya Kshetra. My grandfather, even though he was a religious and rich Brahmin, was a great miser. He used to adopt to his advantage, with perverse logic, all emergent relaxations and subtle exceptions to the scriptural injunctions. He was interpreting the principle of Yada Shakti, that is, according to one's own might, in a very perverse way. He was offering the 10 types of traditional gifts meant for the satisfaction of the departed ancestors with a very meager money. He was managing to finish the ritual somehow. He was inwardly feeling uncomfortable that during the annual Shraddha ceremonies, money was unnecessarily spent and the guests were eating like gluttons as if it was a good opportunity. Annual Shraddha ceremonies are ceremonies in memory of ancestors. He was unhappy that his house was becoming a hollow shell robbed of all wealth. My grandfather died after some time. My father also followed the same footsteps of my grandfather. Time which devours the world devoured my father also. However, I am conducting all the ritualistic ceremonies to the souls of maids strictly according to the scriptures in a scale which was neither high nor low for my capacity. In the meanwhile, quarrels for no reason flared up in our house, and there was no peace of mind. For no reason whatsoever, quarrels were taking place instantaneously. After stepping into our house, even very calm-going relations became very fierce and started fighting. Our house became a center for quarrels. My wife was angry with me and left for the house of her parents. While I was asleep, my son sat on my chest and tried to stifle my neck with his 2 hands. My daughter-in-law was abusing me, saying, Many people of your age reach the burial ground. When will your turn come? My daughter was saying harshly that she must have committed a lot of sin in some birth to be born as a daughter to a destitute like me. My son-in-law was taunting me with sarcastic remarks like, There are no servants in our house. You are robust like a rock. You can come to our house and do works like sweeping the house, tending the cattle in the cow shed, and when required, going to the meals offered to Brahmins in religious rites and accepting donation of gingerly seeds. We will keep ready gluttonous food for you, even by fasting ourselves. You can cook the food and give us also a morsel of food if anything remains after you eating. Life became thorny for me. For every living creature, interest in living develops. They feel that there is sweetness in living, but in my case it was clear that there was no sweetness in living. However, there was fear that I may take a devilish birth if I commit suicide and die. It was clear to me that after my death, funeral rites will not be conducted according to procedures laid down by scriptures. One day I finished all the works entrusted to me in our cattle shed and was about to take meals, but my daughter-in-law gave me stale food. It was stinking. I found some vermin in that food. As I was completely tired after manual labor, the extreme pangs of hunger caused much more harassment. I was too weak even to shed tears. I could not eat stinking food. I could not withstand the pangs of hunger. To me, who is in the utmost miserable state, a doubt cropped up in the mind whether this world, these people, and all these relationships were true, or whether all this was jugglery or a trick of great magic. My mind became dull, devoid of the power to think. In such critical circumstances, an Avaduta gave me darshan in the cattle shed. Compassion was flowing from his eyes like a big stream. On seeing that divine compassionate one, I sobbed immediately like a young boy. I had the awareness that I knew him from lakhs of years. I prostrated on that heavenly auspicious feet of the Avaduta and hugged his holy feet to my heart. That Avaduta touched the food with his divine hands. The food in the plate disappeared. A sweet preparation called halwa was in the plate. That Avaduta took small portion of that halwa and instructed me to eat the rest of it. I ate it with full satisfaction. I regained vigor and strength. The Avaduta asked me to dig the northeastern side of the house with an iron crowbar. After digging deeply, skeletons of 2 dogs were unearthed. I threw them out. Avaduta wanted me to pour the porridge with me into the pit. I poured the porridge into the pit and covered it with mud. Then the Avaduta told that he purged the evil effects of the ghosts and that my house was purified. He added that conditions will improve gradually and that I received a call from the Padagaya Kshetra, Petakapuram, and that I should immediately start. He assured that suitable arrangements will be made for me and that we will meet again in Petakapuram. I started for Petakapuram with the one dress I was wearing at that time. I did not inform anyone in the house and started immediately. After I travelled for some distance, evening dusk was fast approaching. I was travelling through a mango grove. The owner of that garden, Narasimhappa, treated me well. He offered me sweet fruits to eat. My hunger was assuaged. He requested me to accept hospitality for that night in his house. I agreed. In the morning, after I finished ablutions and morning prayers, he donated me clothes and offered some money as dakshina. I was surprised to note that arrangements were properly made as told by Avaduta. Then that cultivator said, "Swami, yesterday in the afternoon one Avaduta appeared in my dream and informed that a pious Brahmin would be going on foot through the garden. He instructed me to give hospitality to him and donate clothes and money the next day and offer him mangoes to eat. I had the fortune of seeing you. I am lucky to serve you. I am fortunate." The farmer was exuberant. From this episode, it was clear that the Avaduta was having supernatural powers and that he was no ordinary Avaduta. I was travelling reciting the Vedic hymns. I observed that electric current was flowing in all my nerves while I was travelling dressed in new clothes and chanting Vedic verses. On account of the flow of electric power, I was experiencing ineffable joy in my body. I noticed that a Vedic Pandit was coming quickly behind me. He was reciting Savitri Panna in the Vedas. I also joined my voice with him. Then that Vedic scholar said, "Savitri Panna is very important. In Treta Yuga, Bharadwaja Maharshi performed Savitra Kataka sacrifice. That was also performed in Pitakapuram. According to the promise of Lord Datta, sometime back, he has incarnated in Pitakapuram as Sripada Sri Vallabha. Vedas are approved by the Lord. Even though the authority for the recitation of Vedas was given to Brahmins only, authority for study is given to all castes. Brahmins were worshipping Sri Krishna. Then, what about Sri Krishna? He was washing the feet of Brahmins and sprinkling that water on his head. You are very fortunate because you received the call from Pitakapuram." Then I asked him about who Sripada Sri Vallabha was and that I wanted to hear about his greatness. Then that Vedic scholar told, "My child, darshan of Sripada Sri Vallabha destroys all sins. He is verily Sri Dattatreya. Pitakapuram is his sportive birth ground. In ancient yugas, great people used to incarnate along with main incarnation when the need arose. In previous ages, there was a pious couple named Sushila and Vishnu Datta. That great devoted lady Sushila was experiencing identity with Mother Anasuya during her spiritual exercise. She was experiencing labor pains on the day of Datta Jayanti. Vishnudatta, during his spiritual endeavors, was experiencing identical oneness with sage Atri. That state of merger of different individual identities into one entity is non physical, uncommon, beyond perception of mind and intellect, a divine mystery, one which cannot be accessed through speech, and one which is inexplicable. They are born now as Sumati Maharani and Appala Raja Sharma. Sri Pada was born as the child as a fruit of their intense penance. They belong to Krishna Yajurveda sect, Apastamba Sutra, and the lineage of Bharadwaj. Labada Maharshi, a sage from Vaishya caste of an ancient yuga, was born as Bhaskaracharya during the time of incarnation of Vasavi Kanyaka, and as Bapannarya, father of Sumati Maharani during the time of incarnation of Sripada Srivallabha. You will see those great pious people in Pitakapuram. The farmer who donated you clothes and money was working as a laborer in a previous birth under Subbaramaya Shreshti, that is, father of Venkatappaya Shreshti, in Pitakapuram. As he had meals in the house of the extremely pious Subbaramaya Shreshti, he became a landlord from that great punya and is enjoying all comforts. Venkatappaya Shreshti and Narasimha Varma in Pitakapuram are very dear to Sri Pada. Those people have devotion of parental love towards Sri Pada in abundance. Then I requested, Sir, I observed that the bonds of action are very complicated shackles. It is said that during the yagna, if the Pavamana Gathas, that is, vessels used in sacrifices, are broken, the head of the presiding priest also breaks and he dies. Nowadays, yagnas are performed. If, by accident, any one of the three Pavamana Gathas is broken, the head of the presiding priest is not broken. What is the reason? As the matters, whether auspicious or inauspicious, told in Vedas and scriptures are not happening, atheists are deriding Veda Shastras. That great person replied by saying, My child, in the yagnas conducted in the present times, there are no life-destroying materials like electric current, etc. in the Pavamana Gathas. The officiating priest who conducts the yagna must be a great spiritual achiever. The fire of yoga must clearly reside in him. That yogic fire only will generate electricity in the Pavamana Gathas. If a great yogi presides and conducts yagna, immediate results will follow, leading to the welfare of the world. Instead of that, if namesake exercises are done, we cannot derive the results enunciated by Veda Shastras. There is also a mysterious meaning in the monetary gifts of 16, 116 and 1116 numbers. Lineage relates to father. This dharma will not change as long as creation continues. Sampindya relates to mother. This dharma will be abolished after 7 generations. Son and money are the 2 fruits of marriage. To obtain these 2, a woman called fire is essential. How Sri Pada will have caste differences when he will not differentiate between attributes? He preaches non-dualistic perception, but not non-dualistic action. Just like Adi Shankara, Sri Pada has no partiality. Adi Shankara taught Hema Vidya to people of Gauda caste who make a living of tapping toddy and who help others and who are of passionate nature. Adi Shankara did not teach this Hema Vidya to Brahmins who are sattvic in nature. In the same way, Sri Pada extended his grace to all, depending on their eligibility, irrespective of their race, religion, color, and age. If Adi Shankara taught Hema Vidya to Brahmins, they would turn as misers and forget about their rightful duties, getting entangled in money and other enticements. Mind, intellect, ahamkara, that is ego, 5 rudiments of elements, including earth. These 8 are called inert natures. When combined with nature of animate world, they become 9. 1 represents nature of animate world. Numbers 2 to 9 are symbols of 8 inert natures. 0 is the symbol Brahma Tattva. Mathematics originated from numbers 0 to 9, representing the activities of rudimentary natures or creation. Sri Pada used to jokingly ask for alms of 2 chapatis, do chaupati Dev Lakshmi. This represents the numbers 2, 4, 9 and 8. In his every movement and every word, many meanings will be found. 2 represents all pairs of opposites in creation. 4 stands for Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Mahakarana bodies. 9 is a symbol of changeless Brahma Tattva. And 8 represents Mahamaya. Sri Pada is Ardhanarishvara, the cosmic form of Sri Pada. I belong to Penagonda village, which is called Bruhat Shilanagar. I am called Ganapati Shastri. I came to Vasayapura Agraharam, that is Kakinada, for pursuing Vedic studies. I was learning Veda by serving a guru. My guru had some fields near his house. He had large number of livestock. I went to the field for grazing the cattle. One day, a 10-year-old boy of brilliant luster, in the guise of a shepherd, came to our land. He was wearing a sacred thread in his neck. So I presumed that he was a Brahmin lad and asked him for confirmation. Then that boy said, I am the I. All natures are in me. A support for all, I am only I. It is not wrong if you presume me to be a Brahmin on seeing my Brahminic features. But that is not only the truth. It is not untrue if you think me as Kshatriya on seeing my traits of a Kshatriya. But that is not the only truth. Having noticed feature of a Vaishya in me, it would not be untrue if I am considered as a Vaishya. But it is not only truth. It is not a mistake to think of me as a Sudra on seeing the traits of a Sudra in me. But that is not only the truth. Even if you think I am a Chandala, it will not be a mistake. But it is also not true. I am beyond limitations. I am above everything which appear as many truths and untruths, and I am the support for all those matters. I am the superior truth. That nature of truth is beyond all boundaries. My dharma is supreme dharma, that is beyond all dharmas and is also their support. My nature is supreme love. It is at great distance from all traits of love in all creatures in the creation. Not only that, it is the base for all those things. If you consider me as a male, I behave like a female. If you feel that I am a female, I will behave like a male. If you assume that I am God Shiva, half male and half female, I will prove that I am that divine bliss which cannot be perceived by mind or speech, and which prevailed prior to the manifestation of those two forms. How can you know about me who is having such peculiar characteristics? I felt all the above dialogue as a raving of one who is having an attack of severe fever. I thought that when there is excess of bile, one would indulge in incoherent and mad prattle. That boy who observed my mental condition said, I am now speaking to Saneshwara. That Saneshwara is telling me, Oh Lord, witness this entertainment, how I will harass this Ganapati Shastri by throwing him with adroitness in very strange entanglements and bonds. However, I told Shaneshwara that I am going to receive the consequences of fate of Ganapati Shastri and that he Shanishwara cannot throw him into entangling shackles. On hearing those words, anxiety stirred up in me. In fact, a very bad period was passing according to my horoscope. When I was in a state of daze, that cowherd went to a cow and asked, Gayatri, I'm hungry. Can you give me milk? That mother cow turned its head and expressed assent. Streams of milk started falling on the ground from its udders. That cow herd drank that milk to his full satisfaction. In reality, it was a barren cow, but it gave milk to the cowherd. All this was very confusing to me. That cowherd sat contented under a mango tree. When I again saw him casually, I noticed with him a 10-year-old girl in the dress of a village belle. They were giving joy to the eyes of the onlookers. They appeared like a couple, happy to look at. Their merry conversation and funny jokes made them look like a happy couple. In the meanwhile, Sri Venkatapaya Shreshti got down from the horse carriage. A brilliant, sparkling lad of 10 years was with him. I learnt afterwards that he was Sri Pada. Sri Venkatapaya Shreshti donated this land to my Gurudev in memory of his father. Vast lands abutting this field were owned by Sri Shreshti. Sri Shreshti sometimes visit Vaisapura, Agraharam, that is Kakinada, from Bidakapuram to supervise his lands. Sri Shreshti was amazed on seeing the cowherd and the girl with him because he resembled with slight changes and additions very closely to Sri Pada. In addition, he was very lustrous. Then Sri Pada said, Tata, why are you so much astonished? For that, Sri Shreshti asked Sri Pada to look at those two people and remarked that the scene was a feast of joy for the eyes. Then Sri Pada asked whether the one who sees and the scene that was seen were one and the same. Sri Shreshti replied with felicity that he did not know such philosophical matters. Sri Pada said, Tata, what philosophy is there in this? It is said that Sri Hari also became astonished on seeing the movement of his Maya, which has no limits. This creation is filled with all 9 sorts of humors. One of the conditions of creation is to produce wonderful scenes. There it is 2, here it is 1. Is duality true or non-duality true? Am I 1 or 2 or many? Please think and tell. With these words of Sri Pada, a doubt arose in Sri Shreshti whether the cowherd and the pleasant girl were also the creation of Sri Pada. Caressing the chin of Sri Shreshti, Sri Pada said, My dear Tata, why doubt? As long as your family do not forget, me and my Shakti move in your fields in an invisible form. It is a matter of definite experience that the spiritual pursuers will hear the sound of my footsteps in your house. Sri Dattatreya, along with his consort Anaga Devi, concealing his Ardhanarishwara form, is in your presence in the form of an Avaduta, Sripada Srivallabha. Don't have any doubt. When I appeared before Sumati Amma at first when I was born as a son, I told her resolutely that no attempt to marry me should be made, and if such an attempt is made, I would certainly leave the house. As you are a Rajarshi who imprisoned me with your bond of pure devotion, I showed you the form of Anaga along with Anagaha Devi. No action takes place without a cause in the presence of Sri Pada. The process of creation is very, very strange. I will decide the actions, their consequences, and the time and the place of their occurrence. To impart knowledge to the ignorant through my actions, sportive plays and miracles is part of my avataric program. Saying so, Sri Pada assumed the shape of shining illumination and went towards the mango tree in the presence of all of us. While we were all witnessing, that peasant girl and the cowherd took the the shape of brilliant light and merged in Sri Sri Pada, it is an impossible thing that mangoes should grow out of the season, but one unripe mango grew to that mango tree. Sri Sri Pada plucked it. The touch of his hand was so effective that it turned into fruit while all of us were seeing it. Just as a mother would feed her infant child with food or sweetmeats, Sri Sri Pada fed Sri Shreshti with that mango fruit. Sri Shreshti was weeping like a young boy while he was eating that mango fruit. The motherly love of Sri Sri Pada was great even than the love of 1,000 mothers. When compassion and love shower from his divine eyes, he looks very much like Mother Anaga, an embodiment of the three Shaktis. The stone of the mango fruit stood erect in the presence of Sri Sri Pada and was like a servant awaiting for the orders of the master. With the hand gesture of Sri Sri Pada, it flew upwards. Even though it was in the form of a stone of the mango fruit, it changed into a lustrous entity. Sri Pada averred, "Some people argue dogmatically whether seed is first or tree is first. There is one who is in existence before both of these. He is God. He can generate tree from seed, or vice versa, according to his will. Even the Sapta Rishis, that is the 7 sages famous in the universe, cannot imagine his inexplorable resolve. Paramatma, when tainted, is called Jiva. Taintless Jiva is becoming Paramatma. When Jivatma merges in Paramatma, all his influences or tendencies exist as fried seeds. Nevertheless, if Paramatma desires to bring Jivatma again into the cycle of creation, no force can stop him. However, when the Jivas who merged in him are brought back into creation, they become persons taking birth for a purpose, and they perform the mission of God. At the end of their life, they again merge into Paramatma. Some Jivas who do not like to be merged back again into Paramatma, but wish to remain in close proximity to him and continue in that state of bliss. Paramatma will make such people also to be born as people born for a cause for the purpose of conducting God's mission. At the termination of their life, without merging into Paramatma, they remain at a very close position to him and experience divine bliss. Those who want to remain in a state of difference between Jivatma and Paramatma take a purposeful birth and after completing the divine work, revert back to their previous position in the next birth. State of duality or superior duality or non-duality will be accorded according to the wishes of Jivas. Therefore, it is not proper for the people to debate whether non-duality is superior or superior duality is great or duality is great. Creation, sustenance, and liquidation go on every moment. At the end of Kalpa, Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra will rest in a state of unmanifest joy of Paramatma. Again, they return to a manifest state according to the Mahasankalpa and carry on creation, sustenance, and liquidation in the newly created universes earmarked for them. In the ensuing Kalpa, Hanuman, who is a scholar of 9 different grammars, will become Brahma, that is the creator. Duties for the Jivas in the program of universal administration are granted depending upon their powers of faculties and qualifications. Therefore, universes in the creation are many crores, and the divine forces employed for their administration are also infinite. Devilish forces which act as impediments to those divine forces are also infinite. Mohammedans call the Formless One with attributes as Allah. Christians call the Formless One with the attributes as Jehovah. They name the indwelling consciousness reflected in creation as Jesus, that is, Son of God. They also call the heavenly consciousness that fosters peace, courtesy, love, and compassion as Holy Soul. I am the one who shine with self-effulgence in all dharmas, religions, and theories. I am the one who is perceived by different philosophies according to their preferences, tastes, and the paths they follow. As I am independent in all respects, and as I am not subject to any possibilities or impossibilities, I do not have any specified policy. As I shine with dazzling brilliance in all form of gods and goddesses, intrinsically I am the one who receive all worships and panegyries through those respective forms. I am the one who grants grace to all. When the delusion of Kali Purusha ceases, the knowledge that I am the embodiment of Sanatana Dharma, which is the quintessence of all religious dawns. An aspirant can reach me either through external practice or internal practice. I will always take care of the spiritual aspirant, whether he is an external or an internal pursuer. I am the one who calls with love. In Vedas also, it was declared that truth, knowledge, and eternity is Brahma. I am the one who is the form of Satya, Jnana, and Ananta Brahman. I am the one who preaches to the atheists that there is no God. I am the one who extols about the existence of God to a theist. I am the embodiment of all gurus. I am the one who shines with self-effulgence in all states of spiritual pursuit such as Satyaloka, Satyanama, Goloka, and Mahashunya. I will constantly take care of the welfare of those who adore me with pure devotion, who cast all their burdens on me and seek total surrender from me. I am Sri Pada. I am Sri Vallabha. Tata, today's Sri Pada Sri Vallabha is none else than the son of Anasuya and Atri of that distant date belonging to the remotest ancient yuga. I have to incarnate in Pitapuram in compliance of a promise made to sage Bharadwaja. Tears of joy were flowing down like torrent from the eyes of Sri Venkatappaya Shrishti. He embraced Sri Sripada very closely. The ecstasy he experienced is indescribable. It cannot be expressed through words. After some time, Sri Shrishti said, "My dear one, my golden jewel, kindly show your grace on our family. Kindly keep your grace on our lineage. Kindly show your grace on our Arya Vaishya caste." On that request, Sri Sripada said, "Tata, let it be so. A Brahmin who has the authority to ask for one boon. Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras have the authority to ask for 2, 3, and 4 boons respectively. I am granting the 3 boons asked by you. I am making a solemn promise, keeping all the 33 crore deities as witnesses. Sri Pada Sri Vallabha Mahasamsthan will be established in my name, in the house of my maternal grandfather Sri Bapannarya, exactly at the place of my birth. During the time of 33rd generation reckoned from you, during the 33rd generation of Sri Bapannarya, and during the 33rd generation of Sri Narsimha Varma, I will myself establish my samsthan, making a person belonging to your 33rd generation as an instrument for the purpose. I am instructing sage Markandeya, who is the founding father of your family, to receive some portion of the offerings made to me in the afternoon of every Thursday in some form or the other. By this, let the persons born in Markandeya lineage get benefit. My grace is on Arya Vaishyas as desired by you. I am blessing Arya Vaishyas to have ruling powers. For that purpose, an Arya Vaishya will become the ruler of Bharata Desa. He will visit Pitakapuram. According to a prediction of a special Nadi astrology, he will receive my abundant grace. After that, many devotees from Nepal come to Pitakapuram to have my darshan. My order is like an edict on a rock. No creature in the creation can violate my law. Tata, my victory bell undergoes variety of changes and it will be interned in earth in the place where my icon will be established. As a mark of the arrival of victory bell, some earthen pots will be found in the excavations there. Very much punya is required to extend financial assistance to the Mahasamsthan to be constructed in Pitakapuram. Financial assistance will come only from an individual who was born in Arya Vaishya caste in some birth and had some connection with Pitakapuram. Non-believers, fools, pedantic arrogance, persons demanding authority or proof for everything. Desires are fulfilled by Parayana of my biography. All obstacles are removed. If one participates in any noble activity connected with my samsthan in Pitakapuram, if I am worshipped with devotion on the occasion of my birth star Chitta, troubles from deaths will be settled. Marriages of young girls with suitable bridegrooms will take place. Afflictions from devils, ogres, ghosts, and other unseen spirits are removed. Shravana Shuddha Purnima is the sacred day on which Sri Vasavi Kanyaka tied Rakhi to me. Chitragupta writes great punya to those who stay in my presence in Pitakapuram on that day. I am an authority unto myself. My biography is a standard for itself. My leelas are their own standard proofs. Why any other proof is required to tell that sun is the sun? The leelas of Sri Pada are impossible for others. Next day, Vallabheshwara Sharma couple, Subbanna Shreshti, Lingana Shreshti, and I left for Kurangudda for the darshan of Sri Pada. Sri Pada blessed us profusely. He said smilingly, "Oh, what sort of discussions? What discussions? Much time had to elapse before the formulation of Sri Pada Sri Vallabha Mahasamsthan. When will the death of Venkatappaya Shreshti and Vatsavai family be fully redeemed?" After saying so, he became silent.